Hello everyone, my name is Carmen Bergen, but I go by my middle name, Belen. I came here 10 years ago from Peru. I will graduate next year from Calcio Fullerton with a bachelor's in psychology and another one in Spanish. I am now taking the prerequisites for the single subject credential program, and in my free time I like to travel. I also like to paint and enjoy quality time with friends and family. My husband and I just recently celebrated our third year anniversary, and we just had our first baby this summer, July 3rd. His name is Luca. I'm going back to school full time with 5 classes this semester, so wish me luck. My plan is to teach Spanish for a couple of years and then go back to school for my master's and or my PhD in education. I love Spanish and the culture surrounded by it. I have been teaching Spanish for 3 years as a tutor. I also work as a teacher assistant for special education in elementary school. Teaching is such a rewarding job that made me change my major. Don't get me wrong, I love psychology. Learning about the human brain and the human behavior is fascinating, and it has given me a handful of skills to work with different type of students. However, working as a therapist can be a little bit too stressful and exhausting. So, to answer the first question, during my teenage years, my ethnicity, my linguistic background, and my socioeconomic status had an effect in my development. I came from a small Catholic private school in Peru to a pretty big public high school in California. So I experienced different types of cultures that were different to mine. I was in a an ESL class where the majority of the students were Hispanic and Mexicans to be specific, and even though uh, we spoke the same language, we had a lot of differences, and at the beginning I couldn't relate to them as much. One of the reasons was that we came from different socioeconomic backgrounds, and our lifestyles were different. Also, I had a different accent in Spanish, my Peruvian accent, and some of them used to make fun of that. And it was also hard. It was also hard for me to relate to other students because I didn't know English. From high school, I also remember seeing two guys kissing during break, something that will never happen back in my small Catholic school. Another new experience to me was seeing a tall guy wearing all black clothes and black makeup with a huge mohawk with different colors. A totally different experience to my flawless and boring uniform back in Peru. So that was a pretty difficult time in high school where I faced different cultures and I learned how to deal with them. Not only other countries, but also other languages, socioeconomic status, sexual identities, and backgrounds. These experiences have shaped my beliefs and attitudes and expectations of others. For example, my beliefs that all Hispanics and Latinos are the same is no longer the case. Now I've learned that even though we speak the same language, we come from different backgrounds and different cultures. Also, I've learned not to judge people for their looks, but to get to know them first. Um, the tall guy with black clothes ended up being a pretty cool guy, and it was a little bit scary at the beginning, but a really nice person at the end, and he's still my friend. Also, my attitudes about meeting new people and new cultures have changed. When I first came, I was afraid to get to know new people with different cultures and from different cultures. However, now I love meeting people with different backgrounds, languages, lifestyles, um, and cultures. It is such a rich experience to me to meet people from different backgrounds. They bring so much to my life. I have now friends from everywhere. I love I love learning from them. I have friends from Mexico, Peru, Argentina, Colombia, Nicaragua, Cuba, Spain, Lebanon, Afghanistan, Vietnam, and so many other countries. Um, I will love I will define the diversity as a beautiful mixture of cultures, and multicultural education is an environment where students feel free to embrace their cultures and happy to learn about other cultures as well. After completing the readings, now I have a better understanding of what multicultural education is, and I like this idea of introducing different resources for all the students to lead them to their full potential. Different resources for different types of students and cultures. Something else that caught my attention from this reading is that e equity is equal to the process and equality is equal to the results. And I would like to conclude this recording with a quote from this chapter, and it says, all students must be given a real possibility of an equality of outcomes. Thank you everyone, and I'm hoping for a great semester with you guys in this class.